America, 2024, a year that promises to be unlike any other in recent memory. It feels like we're living in a Michael Bay movie, but with less coherent dialogue, explosions, drama, and a plot that seems to twist and turn at every corner. The political landscape is more divided than a pizza at a toddler's birthday party, each slice representing a different opinion, a different ideology, and a different vision for the future. On one side we have Donald J. Trump, a man who needs no introduction, mostly because his name is already etched into every surface of our daily lives. His rallies are a spectacle, his speeches a mix of bravado and controversy. On the other we have Kamala Harris, the current vice president, hoping to shatter that highest glass ceiling. Her campaign is built on promises of progress, equality, and a brighter future for all. This isn't just an election, folks. It's a cage match for the soul of our democracy. Every debate feels like a boxing match, every policy discussion like a wrestling bout. And the stakes? Higher than a giraffe on stilts in a hot air balloon. We're talking about decisions that will shape the very fabric of our nation for generations to come. This election will determine the future of healthcare, climate change policy, and so much more. Will we see a revolution in renewable energy, or will fossil fuels continue to dominate? And whether or not we'll ever stop arguing about who should be on our money. The debates over historical figures and their legacies are more heated than ever. So buckle up, buttercups. It's going to be a bumpy ride. The twists and turns of this political roller coaster are just beginning, and there's no telling where we'll end up. Remember Iowa? That state with more corn than people and more political drama than an episode of The Real Housewives of DC? Well, Iowa just threw the first punch in this election brawl. And guess who got clocked? That's right, folks. Kamala Harris just pulled a polling upset, surging ahead of Trump in the Hawkeye state. This unexpected twist has left pundits scratching their heads and Trump frantically tweeting about rigged corn mazes. But the numbers don't lie. Harris's message of unity and progress seems to be resonating with Iowan voters, particularly women and independent voters. This early victory doesn't guarantee a win in November, but it's a clear sign that this race is far from over. The action has shifted to the South, folks. We're talking about those states where sweet tea flows like water and political allegiances run deeper than a gator in a bayou. For both Harris and Trump, the South is a crucial battleground, and they're pulling out all the stops. Harris is trying to energize the Democratic base, appealing to black voters and young people with promises of social justice and economic opportunity. Meanwhile, Trump is sticking to his tried-and-true playbook fear-mongering and culture wars. He's hammering home his message of law and order and painting Harris as a radical socialist who wants to turn America into a communist dystopia. Only time will tell which strategy will prevail. Even by Trump's standards, this was a doozy. At a recent rally at Madison Square Garden, the former president went on a rant that can only be described as a verbal dumpster fire. It was a greatest hits collection of his most inflammatory rhetoric, attacks on immigrants, insults towards women, and enough conspiracy theories to make Alex Jones blush. The fallout was swift and brutal. Even some of Trump's most ardent supporters were left speechless, a rare occurrence, I know. Moderate Republicans distanced themselves faster than a vampire at a garlic festival. And the polls? Well, let's just say they didn't look pretty for the Donald. This wasn't just a gaffe, folks. It was a self-inflicted wound that could cost him the election. One of the most striking aspects of this election is the prominent role that women are playing. From the campaign trail to the voting booth, women are making their voices heard louder than ever before. And for good reason. This election will have a profound impact on issues that directly affect women, such as reproductive rights, equal pay, and healthcare. Kamala Harris, of course, is the embodiment of this female empowerment. Her historic candidacy has inspired millions of women and girls across the country. But it's not just about Harris. Women are volunteering for campaigns, donating to candidates, and engaging in political discourse at unprecedented rates. This isn't just a moment, folks, it's a movement. Section 6. The wildcard independents hold the keys to the kingdom. In this election, as in so many others, it all comes down to the independents. These voters who don't align themselves strictly with any political party are the true wildcards. They are the ones who can swing the vote in any direction, making them the most sought-after group by all candidates. These are the voters who aren't beholden to any party, the free spirits of the electorate. They pride themselves on their independence, often scrutinizing each candidate's policies and promises with a critical eye. They are not easily swayed by party loyalty or traditional political rhetoric. They're the folks who read both the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal just to keep things interesting. They consume a wide range of media to get a balanced view of the issues at hand. This makes them well-informed but also more challenging to predict. And right now they're more confused than a chameleon in a bag of Skittles. With so much conflicting information and so many mixed messages from the campaigns, it's no wonder they're feeling overwhelmed. They are bombarded with ads, debates, and news stories, each trying to pull them in a different direction. Both campaigns are desperately trying to woo these elusive voters, but it's proving to be a tough sell. Campaigners are hitting the streets, making phone calls, and flooding the airwaves with ads, all in an effort to capture the attention and support of independents. Independents are turned off by Trump's divisiveness, but they're also wary of Harris's progressive policies. They find themselves caught between a rock and a hard place, unsure of which direction to go. Their skepticism is palpable, and their decision-making process is more complex than ever. They're the swing voters, the tiebreakers, the ones who will ultimately decide the fate of the nation. Their votes are crucial, and as Election Day approaches, all eyes will be on them. The outcome of this election hinges on their choices, making them the true power brokers in this political landscape. Section 7. The Trump train rolls on, a base undeterred. Despite the scandals, the gaffes, and the general air of chaos that surrounds him, one thing remains clear. Donald Trump still commands a fiercely loyal base of supporters. These supporters are not just casual fans, they are deeply committed to his vision and his leadership. They show up in droves at his rallies, waving flags and holding signs, their enthusiasm undiminished by the controversies that seem to follow him wherever he goes. These are the folks who wear Make America Great Again hats unironically, proudly displaying their allegiance to a man they believe represents their values and aspirations. The MAGA hat has become more than just a piece of merchandise. It is a symbol of their identity and their defiance against what they see as a corrupt political establishment. They are the ones who believe every word that comes out of Fox News, trusting the network to provide them with the unvarnished truth. For them, Fox News is not just a news outlet, it is a lifeline to a world that makes sense, a world where their beliefs are validated and their fears are addressed. These diehards would probably vote for Trump even if he ran as a candidate for the Galactic Federation. Their loyalty is unwavering, their support unshakable. They see Trump as a fighter, someone who is willing to take on the establishment and fight for the little guy, no matter the odds. Why do they remain so devoted? It's complicated. Their devotion is rooted in a complex mix of factors, from economic anxiety to cultural identity. For many, Trump represents a return to a time when they felt more secure, more in control of their lives and their futures. Some are drawn to his populist message, his promises to put America first and to fight for the forgotten men and women of this country. They believe that Trump is the only one who truly understands their struggles and is willing to do something about it. His promises to drain the swamp and stick it to the elites resonate deeply with them. They see Trump as a champion of the common man, someone who is not afraid to take on the powerful interests that they believe have rigged the system against them. Others appreciate his willingness to say what they're thinking, even if it's politically incorrect or downright offensive. They see his bluntness as a refreshing change from the usual political doublespeak, a sign that he is genuine and unafraid to speak his mind. Even when his statements are controversial or offensive, they see them as a necessary challenge to the status quo. They believe that Trump is willing to say the things that need to be said, no matter how uncomfortable they may be. And let's not forget the power of nostalgia. For many of his supporters, a vote for Trump is a vote for a simpler time, a time when they felt more secure and more in control of their lives. For some, a vote for Trump is a vote for a simpler time, a time before COVID, before Biden, before everything went to hell in a handbasket. They long for a return to the days when they felt that America was on the right track, and they believe that Trump is the man to bring those days back. They see Trump as a beacon of hope, a leader who can restore the country to its former glory. For them, the Trump train is not just a political movement, it is a lifeline to a better future, a future where they feel valued and heard. Section 8. Issues that divide us. Where do the candidates stand? Let's face it, folks. This election isn't about policy. It's about identity. It's about which version of America you believe in. But hey, let's at least pretend to care about the issues, shall we? On the economy, Trump boasts about his pre-pandemic successes and promises to make America great again. Harris, meanwhile, proposes raising the minimum wage, investing in infrastructure, and making healthcare more affordable. When it comes to healthcare, Harris wants to expand the Affordable Care Act and move towards universal coverage. Trump, well, he just wants to repeal Obamacare and replace it with something. It's not entirely clear what that something is, but he assures us it'll be beautiful. Section 9. The final countdown, America braces for impact. Here we are, folks. The finish line is in sight. The air is thick with anticipation, anxiety, and the faint scent of stale coffee. Both campaigns are making their final push, bombarding us with ads, rallies, and enough empty promises to fill a hot air balloon. The polls are tightening, the pundits are predicting everything and nothing, and the American people are left to wonder, what the hell is going to happen? Will Trump pull off another improbable victory? Or will Harris make history as the first female president? Only one thing is certain. This election will have profound consequences for the future of our nation. So get out there and vote, folks. Your democracy depends on it. It's on.